All right, today we're diving into a real high-stakes power play that's brewing at the very top of the U.S. economy. You've got the White House on one side, the Federal Reserve on the other, and honestly, the outcome could have a direct impact on your wallet.
And it all boils down to one of the biggest questions in Washington right now. I mean, whoever runs the Federal Reserve holds an insane amount of power over your mortgage rates, the job market, the cost of, well, everything. With the current chair's future looking shaky, the real question is, who's about to take the wheel?
Well, it looks like we have a frontrunner. According to sources close to the president, the leading candidate is Kevin Hassett. Now, to really get why he's the top choice, we've got to rewind a bit and look at the tension that's been building for months between the White House and the Fed.
Yeah, let's be clear. This is not your average job swap. This is the culmination of a very public clash between the White House and the nation's central bank. We're talking about a real tug-of-war over the direction of the entire U.S. economy.
So what's at the heart of this conflict? It's pretty simple, really. Interest rates. You have President Trump pushing hard for the Fed to slash rates aggressively, to supercharge the economy. But on the other side, you've got the current Fed chair, Jerome Powell, taking a much more cautious route, arguing that with all the uncertainty out there, slow and steady is the way to go.
And this disagreement has been anything but quiet. The president has been very public with his criticism of Powell, even threatening to fire him, which, is a hugely controversial thing to do. This pressure has been echoed by his allies, with some even calling for Powell to just step down. The message from the administration couldn't be clearer. They are not happy.
So you might be wondering, why not just promote someone who's already at the Fed? Well, as Logan Mohtashami from Housing Wire puts it, it really comes down to a lack of trust. The president apparently doesn't trust the current board members. He wants someone he knows will be on his team and isn't willing to risk appointing someone who might push back.
And that brings us to Kevin Hassett. He's seen as the president's preferred choice. So, let's take a closer look at his background and figure out why he's considered such a loyal ally.
Hassett's been a key economic figure in this administration for a while now. He was a chairman of the Council of Economic Advisors. He came back to help manage the economic response to COVID-19. He's a known quantity, and for the White House, that makes him a trusted one.
His career also includes time at the influential American Enterprise Institute, and he's advised multiple Republican presidential campaigns: McCain, George W. Bush, Romney. He even did a brief stint at Jared Kushner's private equity firm, which just goes to show how deep his connections to the inner circle really are.
But here's the thing that really stands out. Despite his pretty extensive resume, Kevin Hassett has never actually worked inside the Federal Reserve System. That makes him a total outsider candidate, which is pretty different from a lot of the folks who have held this job in the past.
And it's not like Hassett was the only name in the hat. Nope. The White House and the Treasury have apparently been vetting people for months, and the shortlist had some other notable names on it.
The list included current Fed officials like Michelle Bowman and Christopher Waller, a former governor, and even a top executive from BlackRock. But what's really telling is Hassett's key identifier right there: close Trump ally. It kind of suggests that for this particular job opening, loyalty might be the most important qualification of all.
Okay, so if Hassett is the clear frontrunner, what's the process to make it official? It's actually not as simple as just naming him the new chair. There are a few steps involved.
And it seems like things are moving pretty quickly. The president himself is signaling that a decision is imminent. He told reporters just last week, "I think I already know my choice," which is ramping up speculation that an official announcement could be just days away.
The confirmation process itself is this interesting two-step safeguard. First, a nominee has to be appointed as a Fed governor for a 14-year term. That length is designed to give them stability and insulate them from politics. Only after they are confirmed for that long-term spot can they then be nominated to actually serve as the chair.
It's so important to remember just what's at stake here. The Fed chair is, you could argue, one of the most powerful economic positions in the entire world. Their decisions ripple out and affect everything, from mortgages to the job market. It is an incredibly consequential choice.
This whole situation really puts a fundamental question in the spotlight. Just how important is the independence of a central bank? The tradition for a long time has been that the Fed should make decisions based purely on economic data, free from political pressure. This situation seems to be challenging that norm directly, and it leaves us all to think about it. What is the right balance between political goals and the independence of our economy?